Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is load up the game. Then you want to go over to Sanctuary. So you want to at least unlock Sanctuary and meet Tannis and all, the rest of the crew. You would at least want to progress throughout the game just a little bit. But basically, you just want to go to Tannis Lab, and then you're going to see this little orange, like, what was it, exclamation point. And on her lab desk, you're going to see this like Iridian type artifact type of thing. You're basically going to click on that, and that will basically give you the mission prompt for the whole takedown, the Guardian takedown. So you want to make sure that you at least progress in the game to at least have Sanctuary unlocked. Just make sure you have Sanctuary unlocked. Then you Patricia Tanish is, she's gonna talk to you. She's gonna tell you to navigate to Minos Prime. So after that, you want to go to your little Sanctuary ship and you want to navigate all the way to Minos Prime. And Minos Prime, I thought Neko de Feo was a ruin, but like Minos Prime has been literally obliterated. Like, One Punch Man Saitama just punched a hole through it. But basically, you're going to be prompted to go into the drop pod, go down to the drop pod near Ellie's garage, and that will take you to the Shattered Tribunal. And this is basically where you were first unlocked the Guardian Breach. So, like I said, if you're trying to unlock it, like I said, you want to at least make sure that you at least get to Sanctuary. Obviously, at least progress in the game to get Sanctuary. I'm not sure if you have to beat the campaign, similar to the Mammoth takedown raid, but at least get to Sanctuary. And alright, so now that you're officially at Minos Prime, you have the option of enabling it to the True Raid function, which I really probably wouldn't recommend since it is bugged, but you're gonna remember these two crystals, alright? Those two crystals, you sure already know that these are probably the hardest steps in the entire game, and there's a lot of questions about it, but basically all you have to do, the main gist of it, is a stand on the crystal, alright? And as you can see, once you see that little square activation around the field, that means that you're done with that crystal and you can go to the other crystal. So you don't have to do them at the same exact time, you can just do it one by one. I believe that's how they were pretty much designed. It would help if you did have more players, but I believe you can actually do this solo. I'm actually going to try and do this solo to confirm that, because I'm pretty sure as long as you passed the crystal steps, you should be fine. So when you get past that crystal step, basically that's like the kind of the tutorial of things. You actually don't have to fight those enemies up near that rock area. You can actually just skip past them, similar to the Marathon takedown. You don't really have to fight those enemies. You want to take this little jump lift, and you want to be careful here. You just want to be careful. Right? I've actually seen a lot of people die from the whole zero gravity thing. Alright, so once you get down here, you want to take this little field area, jump, and remember, you have zero gravity, but you're gonna slightly make it. Alright, it's gonna look like you're gonna fall down, but you'll slightly make it. Alright, and the main thing about this puzzle is the crystal, not the puzzle, the raid, is the whole crystals. So we got 3 crystals right here. This is where we're finally going to, alright? Now this part is hard, alright? I think this part is where everybody's stuck in. I'm going to tell you guys simply. Alright, you want to defeat some of the enemies here, activate the crystals, go here, and we're going to break this down easily. Basically, it's like playing keep away from the enemies. And just in this split second, if an enemy crosses that crystal field, you're going to notice that the whole field is going to turn white, alright? Basically, when it turns white, it will pause the whole crystal sequence. And so my recommendation is that everybody focus on one crystal at a time. You don't have to do it in separate. You can just do it one at a time, which I highly recommend you just do it one at a time with each other, because there might be some people that aren't really good, especially with killing these enemies. I mean, these enemies have a lot of health with them. I know it's pretty much broken. But, once you pass that crystal step, we're finally going here. Just kill a bunch of guardians, and the door will open. Now this part is also just a tiny bit tricky. We're going into the platforming part, and this part's a little clunky. So once you kill enough guardians, you're gonna see these purple platforms spawning. And don't worry if you do fall down. That's not the end of the world. The only thing you need to do is just wait a little bit and kill a little bit of enemies, and that will activate a jump drift, so you can go back up here, and you can go back basically up there and try and do the platforming thing again. But we're gonna see 3 purple platforms. Now, even though they are invisible, you can still stand them on, as you can see. Alright, so it is, you know, little Mario games. If you're good at platforms, and you'll probably like this, but you'll want to be very careful because, you know, this can be a little tricky. So once you get to the last purple, you want to go down here in this little chimney-like chute that's in the middle, and this is going to look like you know, you're falling down to your death, but don't worry, you're not. Trust it. I was scared at first too. I didn't even know where to go at first until I saw those like purple blocks. Now this part's also a little bit interesting. If you jump at the right time, you can actually make that ledge, and that will be a checkpoint for you in your ammo, and you can buy ammo or grenades or whatever. But yeah, that was basically an ammo dump. You have to jump at the right time. Don't worry about it. If you miss it, it's all good. The only problem is that you're probably gonna have no ammo, and you're gonna be versing the boss. This boss right here, the Relentless. This guy is pretty much like one of my favorite bosses in the actual game, and he is awesome. So when you deal enough damage to this guy, you're gonna see this big radiation shield. Alright, you're gonna see this like Nova like radiation field, and the problem is you can't stay in this radiation field. Now if you are unfortunate enough to stay in this field, you will instantly die. My pet instantly dies without even trying to get like a second wind or anything. My pet just instantly dies, and you will also die in this field as well. I think it's like an insta kill. And so whenever he activates his little Nova field, you want to use these jump events that are around the map to just get away from that field. Now what makes this boss fight a little tricky is that he will automatically start doing it with multiple areas, so not just one. It will start happening in like 2 or maybe 3 places. So basically it's all about movement, and I think as you can see here, you're actually going to see 2 of those damage novas, those 2 radiation novas. And so those are the areas that you would preferably jump away from, and then the boss will spawn on any of the other platforms, and then you would deal damage to him, and you know, all of that stuff. But overall, it's a pretty easy boss fight. You know, just gotta keep moving, because that damage radiation aura, that can really kill you, and especially if there's no enemies to get a second win, it can be a little bit of a chore. But you know, once you get that, you can claim your loot from him. It was a pretty fun boss fight. Honestly, I really liked how they implemented like a movement system with it. I feel like with the Mao on Takedown, there wasn't really enough movement, but I like how they force you to, like, you have to move. You know, you're always on the move. So anyway, you take that teleporter, and if you do die like I did, you can just spawn in on this checkpoint. This will be officially the checkpoint, and then we're about to get to the final steps of the entire raid. You know, it's a long raid, but I have to say it's like medium size in length, honestly. Like if we're talking raid, I think it's like medium to long, and that depends on how well you're actually killing the enemies. Anyway, you want to enter this gate. Again, we're going to go over here, just kill a bunch of guardians, because obviously you need to fight your way through the temple. You just have to kill enough enemies in order to activate stuff. Again, we're going to see the whole platforming thing with the, whatchamacallit, the purple platforms. We're going to see a bunch of these purple platforms. And again, I've seen so many people die. You really have to be careful. I can't stress that enough. Like, we're in zero gravity. You just really want to be careful about jumping around and doing all that stuff. Again, you'll take that jump rift. We're going to see 1 crystal here. Again, back to the crystals, but don't worry, this is actually the last crystal step, alright? So after this crystal step, you don't have to do any more crystals, because there's 2 over there as well. You're going to see that there are 2 crystals over there on that side as well. So there will be a total of 3 crystals. Again, like I said, I can't stress this enough, please do them 1 at a time. It is so much easier just to do it 1 at a time. And like I said, a lot of people are having problems with it, just instantly dying, because it says you have to charge the crystals before the detonation. So, you know, you can't take your sweet time. I mean, I think the time is honestly, like, easy. I think it's fine, but if you take your time with it and you're taking, like, a very long time, then you will automatically self-destruct and you will instantly die. So like I said, just do it one at a time, and just do it one at a time, honestly, and try and do some crowd control stuff. But anyway, you would progress on through there. You're gonna see, again, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna kill a bunch of the guardians, which will spawn in the purple blocks that you will platform on. I actually had to do this last part by myself just because the other teammates, I think, left. So it was kind of sad, obviously. And we were doing this on Mayhem 1, but everybody left. So again, you use the purple platforms once you kill enough. And if you need an indication on when the purple platforms will actually spawn in, you actually feel the screen shake. And that means that the purple block platforms, that means that will basically be there for you to spawn. And now you have finally reached the final boss area. This part is a little tricky, so please pay attention and just be careful when you're in this boss fight. It's going to be crazy, alright? So we're going to go into the Court of Offering. This is where you're going to meet the final boss in the final boss room. This is where everything is a little bit confusing at first, but you'll get the hang of it. You're going to be fighting Scourge, the invincible martyr. This one's really fun. I like this boss fight. But basically, do damage to him and, do all that stuff as you usually would do as a badass. But basically, you're going to see these bomber guys. I'm sure you've seen these bomber guys before. These guys are going to be important, alright? They're going to have this red crystal around at the top of them. And they're basically like suicide bombers. You want to shoot them when the basically boss is doing his charge attack. You'll see the boss do a charge attack, basically. And when he does that charge attack with his little orb, you want to damage the suicide bombers near him because that will basically interrupt him. But once you do enough damage to the boss, you're going to start spawning into these weird rooms. The first room, obviously, you just kill like a bunch of guardians. Then those, once you kill enough guardians, it's going to spawn in the portal. So once you go through the portal, it's going to take you back to the boss room. You want to take this jump rift at the boss. You're going to see these crystals that are actually healing him. Go to that crystal and melee it just like you would doing the, iridium. So you would smash it similar to how you do it with the iridium. And I wanted to just actually take my time with this guide. I'm trying to make it as short as possible, but I wanted to take my time with it. So again, when you are damaging him, he's gonna do these charge attacks sometimes, and I think it shows in this clip right now. You'll see him start to summon like this big red orb, and this is basically his charge attack. This can be interrupted, and this can be interrupted by shooting those suicide bombers that we were talking about, the guys that are carrying the big red orbs. So if you shoot that near him, actually, I think it basically interrupts him. So you would definitely want to pay attention to that. And I actually don't even know what his charge attack does. Maybe it's an insta-kill, I don't know. But again, I'm showing you, you want to make sure you kill those suicide bombers. And once you kill those suicide bombers, it will interrupt his attack. Because I tried shooting at him and he was basically immune to everything, I think. But yeah, shoot the suicide bombers. That should be able to interrupt him. And then you can basically just go buck wild trying to lay in some damage. Now, after that is done, the same thing is going to happen. He's going to teleport you to this other room. And like I said, basically all you have to do for these steps is basically just do enough damage, enough for the portal to spawn. And not enough damage, what am I saying? Get enough kills. So, basically you're just surviving here at this place. Kill enough of the guardians, and then a portal will actually spawn in the pool area. Now, once that portal spawns in, that portal will spawn you back in the spawn boss room, where you will do the same thing again with the whole crystal thing. You'll just fly up there and destroy that crystal. As you can see, the portal just teleported over there in the pool. But like I said, you just do this again. Hop right into the portal. By the way, I love the art style that it is. Love the colors. Love it. You take that, and then you take the jump rift, and you smash the crystal. Now, you want to smash this crystal because it is actually healing him a little bit. So you do want to try and do this as fast as you can. But, go up here, smash the crystal, and I would recommend trying to move out of the way. I don't know if he actually attacks you right in that spot, but yeah, I think he teleports out of there, actually. Lay in some damage a little bit. By the way, yellow cake is awesome. Love it. Even though they nerfed it. Love it. Again, you know, you do the whole thing over and over again until he's finally dead. And he doesn't teleport you into another room. He only spawns you in those 2 rooms. So, you know, you just kind of do this rinse and repeat method. And yeah, he'll pretty much just die.
Dead, of course. Based on my scans, it's as though they disappeared off the face of the galaxy entirely. Another exciting day in science.